YouTube, as we approach the trial coming, let's just do a recap of everything that's been going on in the House of Horrors, and let's just get that understanding of what was told in that hearing from Annette and Shannon. And let's also hear from 7 Mile, Roxy, and let's just keep it going on. So make sure you click like and subscribe.
Hey viewers. I'm across the street right here at the cover this up. All right. Hey, followers.
It's a lot of kids over there, so I can't keep giving
Yeah, not everybody.
$5, and that looks real bad if I just give you money every time you had asked for it, or she asked for it, and I can't give it to everybody else. So therefore, you guys want something, I got a job for y'all.
Jarvis and Shannon, the monsters.
He gave me the decision if I wanted to pursue a relationship.
So given that his background was sex offender involving a child, right? And you still made the decision to talk to him?
One, I was 19, and two, if society can give you a second chance, why can't someone else give you a second chance as well?
She went to the school and she went up there when NaZiyah didn't bring her ass home. And went up there to the school and told them she didn't come home. They immediately dispatched the police to the school. They took the police report. Far as Shannon, my sister, and Jarvis, she a grown-ass woman. Let her deal with that and let her handle that. I'm not going to even touch off into the subject about that. That's her baby daddy. I'm sure when she got with him, she didn't know that shit off rip. My mother's house is not dysfunctional. NaZiyah never came from a dysfunctional-ass home. Nobody in that household is dysfunctional. They made it seem like we come from a dysfunctional-ass home. My mother is not dysfunctional. She didn't raise us in a dysfunctional atmosphere.
You are retarded.
So I'm saying, you were the last one to see her alive, right?
Yeah, before school.
Before school. So what
I
happened
told y'all that.
So what happened after school, though?
You figure it out. Y'all got everything right. Yeah. Video report.
So now she's running. Like, so now what you going here for? Jarvis is in on the SOR, and Angel leaves him alone with the children. He is not supposed to have any contact with the children, but it's unknown if he molested them yet. Angel is the offender, so this is somebody else's Angel's CPS investigator. He's also named in that one. So it was discovered that Jarvis was in jail because of having sex with a minor, who was there, Lucretia, looks like, has been making sure not to leave his daughters alone with Jarvis. One time picking up Lucretia, what did it say? Lucretia is into drugs. Lucretia uses narcos for pain, all this other shit. So he got kids that he know he's not supposed to be around. He molests his own daughter, and the mama know it. Now, I had to blur out some information because the person named in these documents is a minor. And once again, these are official government documents sent to me. Okay? Now, what you're looking at right now is the documents that show NaZiyah Harris as the victim. Let me zoom in on that for you. NaZiyah Harris is the victim. Okay?
Okay, so let's give a little context. I think there are people coming in that may be a little confused that
we gonna get to it on because they said that we thought we were missing on it. Exactly, right?
Okay.
So here you see it says open and active. Okay, it was filed on 1/11/24. Now this is this other kid's basically record, and you see that the assault and battery was filed, where the incident happened on 11/02. No, 11/2.
Yep.
It
Wait.
happened 11/2.
Oh, okay. Where does that at? You said it happened when?
He's saying it happened November 2nd of 2023.
Okay.
But again, like I said, it was filed on the 24th, 2 days after she came up missing.
It was filed on the 11th.
Oh, no, 11.
Well, that's 2 days, ain't it?
You said the 24th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Brought to my attention that someone who went to school with NaZiyah knew her. So I inboxed her to get a little bit of information from her, and she pretty much told me in so many words that Shannon, she got into a fight with some girl. I don't know if it's this 13-year-old that's alleged to have had whatever involvement with NaZiyah on the assault case. However, she did state that Shannon took NaZiyah to go fight some girl, alleged. So anything else past that, I tried to message her back to ask her more information about the fight, and all of a sudden, magically, I can't send her any more messages. So
Who this post was for from Shannon, who said, "Keep my name out your mouth. You accepted that engagement ring. Accept all the bullshit and baggage that comes with him, Miss Butts."
And does that include NaZiyah? You would drop her off at JD Clark?
All together, yes.
Now, I want to talk about, let me ask it this way. Did you know someone by the name of Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
And do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today? If you need to stand up and look around.
I don't see him.
Do you need glasses, maybe?
Yeah, my
Okay,
daughter has my glass. He's the father of my daughter's children.
And is that daughter Shannon Harris?
Yes.
Okay. How many kids do they have together?
5.
And would he come around your house on Bedford in January or the months leading up to January?
Whenever he did come, he would always pull up in a white truck, and Shannon would go out to the car, and they would sit and talk or whatever, but he would very rarely come in my house.
And during that time when he would come around and sit in his car, was there any times that he would interact with NaZiyah that you saw?
Not that I remember, no.
Okay. But did you talk to Shannon, your daughter?
Yes,
about...
Shannon said she was not there.
Okay. When you got home that day on the 9th, was NaZiyah there?
No.
And did you eventually make a police report about her missing?
Yes, I did. Yes,
And when did you do that?
That morning, when I got to school, I went up and dropped the kids off to school. I talked with the dean and the principal, and I told them that I was on my way to the police station, and they told me that they would call the police, and the DPS police came there.
Is her birth mother still around?
She is.
Okay. Does she have a relationship with her?
No.
She doesn't have any type of relationship, no contact with her that you know of?
Well, let me say this. I don't deal with my daughter, so she really didn't have no contact with NaZiyah like that. She only came around now and then.
And you indicated that NaZiyah participated in social media?
She did. She did participate in social media. She was on social media a lot of times when she wasn't supposed to be.
Okay. So, did you see her post, or did you follow her post?
I didn't see her really posting anything. I mean, at times when I did check, I didn't find anything.
Okay.
And most of the time, if she did post something, my daughter's then would, let me know, if she posted something. They really liked NaZiyah. NaZiyah got along with just about anybody. She was very likable.
Did she have any disciplinary problems?
No,
Do you recall her ever getting into a fight?
she did.
One fight, more than one fight?
There was a young lady that she had a couple of, consultations with in school. And it was like an ongoing situation.
Okay. And when did this first start?
I'm not quite sure when it started, but
That Mr. Butts would come over and I think you said he would rarely come in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But he would come in on occasion, correct?
Not really on occasions, because most of the time when he came in, he would pull up in my driveway, and my daughter would go out to the truck, and a lot of times the kids would go out to the truck. So it was very rare if he ever came in my house.
Okay. And when did you buy that tablet for her?
I bought that tablet for her one Christmas. I think it was in 22 when I bought that tablet, at the end of 22 when I bought that tablet for her.
So December of 22?
Yeah, I think that when I bought that tablet.
So she would have had that tablet for roughly just over a year then, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And did NaZiyah also have access to a cell phone?
The only cell phone she had access to was one of the cell phones when my oldest daughter came to visit me. She gave to NaZiyah, but she could only use it by Wi-Fi.
You said your oldest daughter, is that NaZiyah's biological mother?
Yes.
Oh.
Can you kind of describe the relationship between NaZiyah and Jarvis?
Should be just the uncle and the niece relationship, no more than that.
How often would Jarvis be around, like at your house with you?
He will call or say, can he come see the kids, or the kids will ask, can he see their dad? And he will come, pull up either to my house where I used to live or at my mother's house.
Would NaZiyah ever be around?
All the kids will be around.
Would you ever know NaZiyah to help Jarvis Butts at his job?
Yes, he will call me and say, hey, if I can get our daughter and NaZiyah to come and work up at the shop. And I would say, let me ask my mom first regarding NaZiyah.
Did Jarvis Butts ever tell you that NaZiyah texted him to meet up on January 9th, 2024?
No.
Did you tell Jarvis Butts about not being able to locate NaZiyah on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
And tell me, how did you tell him that?
I called him. He didn't answer. I sent him a message asking him, have he seen Tuda, any whereabouts? And I said no Tuda, and he responded back. Oh, wow.
I didn't hear what you said. The last part.
Last part, I texted him. Well, at first I called him. He didn't answer. The second time, I sent him a message. Still no Tuda. He replied back, oh, wow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Ninth, do you know if NaZiyah had the after-school program?
Yes. At that time, my mom took her out of the after-school program. So she will come home directly at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And were you home at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
And did you see NaZiyah come home?
No.
Okay. And did you see her come home at all the rest of the night?
No.
Okay. Did you leave at any point after 3 o'clock?
No.
Okay. Did you, when NaZiyah didn't come home, did that cause you to experience or feel any type of way?
It did. When she didn't come home is when my mom went to go pick up the other two children from the after-school program. They knocked on the door and they had asked a question and said,
Objection. Sounds like you're saying.
What's that? You have a response.
box, or?
A question is a hearsay, technically.
I think she said she said.
It's just a question.
I'm just getting ready to say a question. Okay,
What was the question?
The two children had asked me, Mom said, did
That's the hearsay.
did NaZiyah come home?
The hearsay is mom said.
Okay, so were you asked directly whether NaZiyah came home?
So my mom was still in the car, I was inside the house. They was coming to the house, walking up to the door. When I opened the door, they asked me, Mom said, did NaZiyah come home? I said no.
Okay. And was NaZiyah home at all?
No.
Okay. And did you do any sort of looking for NaZiyah that night?
Yes.
What did you do?
I called my twin sister. I called some of her friends that I know that stays close by. If they had seen NaZiyah, heard from NaZiyah and everything. And when I reached out to my sister, she said no. Her friend said no. So after that, I asked my mom, did she want me to call the police? She said no, she will take it up in the morning.
Okay. Shannon, did you know NaZiyah to have a pair of red and black Nike shoes?
Yes.
Okay. And if I showed you a picture, Colonel, may I approach?
Yes.
And for the record, this is going to be from People's Proposed Exhibit 14, and it'll be picture 34. Do you recognize these shoes?
Yes, that's a pair of shoes that my mom bought for two.
Back on the 9th, you said your mom was going to file a police report in the morning.
Correct.
Okay. Did you go with her to file a police report in the morning?
No, it was my older sister.
Okay. Did you do anything on the 10th as it relates to trying to find NaZiyah?
Yes. We went out, I and some others went out to go get some pictures, made copies. We went to other stores, passed out flyers, and everything that we need to do. Now, what was asked of us to do.
Okay. Since January 9th, 2024, have you seen NaZiyah?
No.
Since January 9th, 2024, have you heard from NaZiyah?
No.
And in January of this time, well, January 2023, you were living with your mother on Bedford, correct?
Correct.
Prior to that, were you living in Clinton Township?
Correct.
When did you leave the Clinton Township home and move to the Bedford home?
October 23.
And so there were times when you were in Clinton Township that Mr. Butts would travel out there to see the kids?
Correct.
And then when you moved to the Bedford address, he would go to the Bedford address to see the kids?
Correct.
And then the Bedford address is when NaZiyah was also living there, correct?
Correct.
But most times he wouldn't even come to the house, right?
He will come to the house. He will call me first before he will come.
Would he come into the house physically, or would he sit in his truck outside?
50%. He will sit in the car and wait till the kids come outside, or he will knock on the door.
Okay. Would he be in the house for any length of time?
Only if I'm inside the house.
Like he was visiting with you?
Yes.
Okay. So you never knew a time that Mr. Butts would have been alone in the house with NaZiyah?
No.
You can't think of a time when he had been in the house and had gone down to the basement with her?
No.
Or any other room in the house alone?
No.
Would Mr. Butts have ever been at that house if another adult, like you or your mother, weren't there?
He will, what you said.
Would Mr. Butts ever be at the house if you or your mother weren't there?
No. It will be me or another person.
The idea that anything was going on between Mr. Butts and NaZiyah is shocking to you, right?
Correct.
You had no idea.
No.
You never noticed anything between NaZiyah and Mr. Butts that made you concerned?
No.
You never saw any inappropriate behavior?
Not at all.
You didn't notice Mr. Butts paying any special attention to her?
No.
Certainly if you had noticed that, that would have caused you concern.
Yeah, it would have raised a whole bunch of red flags.
Likely you wouldn't have invited him into the house, correct?
Correct.
You found it hard to believe even that Mr. Butts would hurt NaZiyah.
But I won't know. I don't know what he will do if a person's back is up against the wall.
But the thought of that was hard for you, at least at one point, to believe, correct?
Correct.
Before January the 9th, you had a conversation with NaZiyah about a location on Outer Drive in Belfort?
Yes.
And that was surprising to you, right?
Correct.
That's on the east side of Detroit?
Yes.
Did you end up giving her directions on how to get to that location?
Yes.
Why did you give her directions?
I was just getting out the shower and just getting myself together. She asked me, she said, "Hey, Titi," she said, "where is Belfort and Outer Drive?" And I told her, I said, "You know exactly where Belfort and Outer Drive at?" I said, "Outer Drive is right where the wine basket at." And I said, "You know where Belfort at?" And she was like, "I get Balfour and Bedford mixed up." So I said, "You already know Belfort is before Bedford." So she said, "Okay." She said, "Because we are in school and we are learning about our surroundings." So I said, "Okay." But that was the only two things that she had asked, was where was Outer Drive and Balfour at.
Does that location have any special significance to you?
No.
Do you know anybody at that location?
No, the only thing that I'm used to, I'm familiarized with just picking up Jarvis on Outer Drive in Belfort. It's just on a corner.
On a corner?
Mm-hmm.
Not at an address?
Not on an address.
Okay. When was this conversation that you had about that location? Do you recall?
This was right before NaZiyah went missing.
Like how soon before? Weeks?
Maybe it was still in that same week she went missing.
You lived with NaZiyah for, you said, from about October until January the 9th.
Correct.
So you spent a lot of time around her?
Yes.
You knew her mannerisms?
Yes.
Her demeanor?
Yes.
Her moods?
Yes.
Did anything strike you as out of the ordinary about how she was acting at any point in time in December or January before she disappeared?
No, NaZiyah, nothing has changed. Her character, none of that. She was just the same old NaZiyah. Nothing is different.
NaZiyah has a brother, right?
Yes.
Is it an older brother?
Yes.
No, he had run away in 2023, is that right?
Yes.
Objection relevance. How was it relevant?
Is it something that had bothered her or something that she was dealing with at the time? Could cause a change in her demeanor?
Okay.
So she did have a brother that ran away?
Correct.
And was that something that she struggled with?
She didn't like the fact that her brother was running away. Yes, she didn't like it.
Around the same time, around the time December, January, was her mother supposed to come visit, her biological mother?
Yes.
Did she end up coming to see NaZiyah?
Yes.
She did. Did NaZiyah seem to have some big emotions about that contact?
Yes.
It was complicated, fair to say?
Yes.
Did she talk to you about that?
All the time.
On December 3rd, 2023, do you recall sending messages asking Mr. Butts if he needed NaZiyah for anything?
Yes, I do remember.
Okay. So do you remember this text on the first page of People's Exhibit 48?
Yes, I do remember this message.
Okay. And did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay. And what did the message say?
Tuda said, do you still need her to?
Okay. And do you know what is that referring to?
It was, Tuda had asked me to contact Jarvis and see if he still needed them to clean up.
Okay. And that would be to clean up his shop?
Yes.
Okay. And to fast forward, on January 21st of 2024, you sent some messages to Mr. Butts. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read these last 3 messages?
These last 3 messages is, to be honest, these messages I seen into the inbox to you, I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away, Ramon, I mean it. The next message is, I don't know what to say, or Tuda is on. Since this shit doesn't sit right with me, call it what you want, I'm good, period. It says, this for life. Nigga, I thought about it, and you can pass it. And don't call me, no need to explain shit. I already see it.
Okay. So you were referencing some messages that you saw in Tuda's inbox.
Correct.
Tell me, how did you see some messages? Well, first of all, where these messages, where were they at?
The day of, Officer Gardner came to pick up NaZiyah's tablet. My mom asked me to put it on the charger. I put it on the charger. Officer Gardner, after that, Officer Gardner called and said she's on her way.
Hearsay. Without saying what?
Okay, I'm sorry. The officer had called and said that they was on their way to come pick up the tablet.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Sustained as far as hearsay.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Okay, continue.
So, the tablet, before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside to this tablet. She has 2 passwords that I normally know. So, one of them is referenced for her brother's birthday, and the other one is referenced for my password. So, I put the first password in, it didn't work. So, I put the second password in. So, the first thing I went to was Instagram, which I was scrolling. And I seen Jarvis Butt's Instagram page. I clicked on his page and I seen 2 messages.
Okay, and what were the messages that you saw? Who were they between, first of all?
NaZiyah, my niece, and Jarvis.
Okay, and what were the messages that you seen?
It was roughly 2 messages that I have seen that I can recall. States.
I'm going to object to this as hearsay. They have not been admitted, and the messages themselves would be the evidence.
Were they of any? Were the messages of a sexual nature?
No.
Okay. And you said you saw 2 messages.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see anything else?
It was 2 sent pictures, but you can't really make anything out. There wasn't nothing there, but the picture was sent.
Okay.